Hi and welcome back to my channel. I have had a week full of cold and it's really strange. I started the week thinking I had hay fever, which a lot of people seem to have at the moment, but as the week's gone on it's developed into a little bit of hay fever and a lot of a cold. So I've been blowing my nose endlessly until I've made my face sore. I feel absolutely washed out, and I just said to Joe, my hair feels flat and lifeless, but that's because we've just been into Nottingham when I got wet because it was raining, but that's irrelevant. I just feel like a limp rag today, so it's not going to be a very long video. We've had an okay week. We've had a really busy week. We've had a week of a lot of walking because we had opportunities to do different things and quite a lot of walking up hills, which we both enjoy, don't we, Joe?
Yep.
We like hill walking. And I was saying to Joe yesterday, I've well topped 100,000 steps this week, and I worked it out, and that's around like 40 miles-ish for me, with the amount of steps I take to the mile. But when I think back to a few months ago, we were topping 55 miles a week. So 40 is brilliant, and way, way more than we generally do. I think we generally do, well, I generally do about 20. That's my average. Yeah, perhaps that's why I feel like a limp rag. I've eaten well all week. I've not done anything extraordinary, but I do feel absolutely worn out, and I think it is because I am full of cold. And we have had one or two stressful days. We had a hospital day on Thursday and it was endless, wasn't it, Joe? Mm. We sat and we waited in one place, and we sat and we waited in another place, and we walked down long corridors. If anybody knows Nottingham City Hospital, it's famous for its long corridors. That's probably where I got quite a lot of my steps on Thursday. But anyway, we had okay results and things, but it just seemed like such a long day. Yeah, what can I say? Laura won the Easter giveaway, and thanks Laura for your email. And in her email Laura said she would like top or accessories, and I'm not a great one shopping for accessories because I'm not an accessories person. I'm really boringly plain. I don't possess any accessories, but we've been into town this morning and we've had a great time choosing something for Laura with her £100. Now, the first thing I did was go to two of my favourite shops, and I'm just going to walk over here, see a blind person do this, and find, yeah, lost the other one, Joe. Right, back to my right place. So we went into town, and we're back in the right place on the camera.
Kinda. Step back a bit and a bit to your left.
That way, I'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Went into town, and are they the right way around?
Yep.
Went to two of my favourite shops. So my favourite shops are pretty much the White Company, John Lewis, Whistles and Jigsaw. If that's where, you know, if I was limited in where I could shop for clothes and things, that's where I'd aim. And that's after years and years of shopping in Evans. And I could tell you that probably for 25 years of my life I didn't shop anywhere other than Evans. So if I was going to a wedding or a big function, and I did some functions back in the day for work and stuff like that. So going to a wedding, even for Joe's name blessing, he didn't have a christening, he had a name blessing. Even for that I had a dress from Evans, and I felt like a bag of spuds. But you thought I was going to say shit, didn't you? I felt like a bag of spuds, honestly. And I look back on occasions in my life and I think, you know, like when one of my best friends got married, Caroline, I remember I wore a dress from Evans, you know. When one of my friends, I was godmother to her son, I wore a dress from Evans. And I look back on it, you know, now I can laugh about it. But you know, back then, I spent so many hours crying because I had nothing to wear. And when I did find something to wear, I didn't like it. I bought it because it fit. I bought it because Evans had it in stock. And when I look back on the clothes they sold me at a size 26, they were generally a dress that would have looked nice on a girl who was a size 12 but made up to a size 26, and they just didn't work because they were strappy or they were sleeveless or they were they just weren't me. So now I can shop in places like Jigsaw, Jewels, I'll say White Stuff, I'm not a fan of White Stuff, White Company, John Lewis, places like that. Hobbs I quite like. I will, because I had a long time when I couldn't, and I think I missed out greatly, and I don't want to miss out anymore. I haven't got that many years left, I'm getting on a bit, you know. So, we went into town this morning, went to group first, then popped into town, and I'm going to show you what we got for Laura. So Laura said top and accessories. Laura was pink or black, well, pink preferably, because she says she wears a lot of black. I chose this t-shirt top in, is that in the camera?
Yep.
In Whistles. It was £35 and it feels... Did you laugh then?
No, I just sniffed.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were laughing at me. It feels lovely. It's quite cottony, but it feels really nice. And I might go back and get myself one of these in mint green. But yeah, so there's a top for Laura in pink. And then Joe chose this, and I believe, according to Joe and the lady in Jigsaw, it's absolutely beautiful. It feels beautiful. This is a pure silk scarf. Get it the right way. The lady called it X-ray. You'd have to feel it to know how lovely it is. It just slips through your fingers. It's a...
Try and hold it near the middle. Like it'd be round your neck.
I can't put
because
it around my neck.
You wouldn't spread it out like a big sheet, like if it was wrapped around your neck.
Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So describe it.
It's like smoky, almost translucent, like
Black?
photographs of flowers, but on... It's kind of hard to describe. It looks like really different in real life to how it looks on the camera as well. It's a lot more like... It almost looks like fabric smoke.
Yeah, that's what you said to the girl in the shop. You went, wow, it looks like smoke.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And it looks lovely, like, in natural light as well. It doesn't look quite the same in here, but outside, when you see, like, the sheen on it and stuff, it's really nice.
It feels gorgeous. So there you are, Laura. These will be in the post on Monday. This was £70 in Jigsaw. And I hope you get as much pleasure from wearing it as I'm getting from feeling it, because it's just divine. It's gorgeous. And when Joe said, well, you think you said at one point, like, liquid smoke, it's just lovely. So, I'll send you the receipts with them, Laura. If you don't like them, please don't hesitate to get your money back, buy something different, or return them, change them, exchange them, whatever. I would not be offended by that. Joe said this morning when we were going into town, do you know, you've set yourself a challenge here, because it's not easy to buy something for someone to wear who you've never met. You don't know what their tastes are or anything. And I said, well, it doesn't matter, because Laura will get the receipts and she can change them. And because Laura lives in a city, like I live in a city, it's an easy thing to change from those kind of stores. And that's why I went for the kind of shops I would shop in. If it had been for somebody living in a different part of the country, well, she does live in a different part of the country, but in a more remote place, it might have been more difficult, because you need to know what shops they have access to. But when we live around cities, we all have pretty much access to the same big high street stores. Anyway, it was a pleasure to do it. It was a pleasure to do the giveaway. And it was fun this morning going into town and choosing something for Laura. Right, so my week's been fine, my food's been fine, my appetite hasn't been brilliant, but that's okay, because I always say on this plan I'm never hungry anyway. So I eat my 3 meals a day, I don't worry about eating in between meals. I'm very grateful that I can choose to eat whatever I like to eat. And that's a nice place to be. And I was thinking this week, about people who work this plan. Looking back on my own personal journey, when I first started working this plan, I was 19. Working it through my 20s, when I was unmarried, living on my own, had big responsibilities like rent and then mortgage. and you know, your usual, your council taxes and your electric, your gas, your mobile phone, all your other responsibilities, your insurances and everything. I was much more limited then on what I could spend on food. And trying to put myself in that place today, thinking how would I manage this plan, I think I would find this plan expensive. And then I look back at the time when Joe was little and we had different foods in the house, which were always my choice because I've always done the shopping. But I was married, Joe was little, so going through my 30s and into my 40s. And again, you know, we'd moved house, we had a different mortgage, we had different responsibilities because we had a child, and of course in those days, well, we're still like today, you've got a car to pay to buy, you've got your car insurance, you've got all your usual stuff. And I was only saying to my husband earlier in the week, because the council tax bill had started again, it's April, isn't it? Our council tax is 3 times what our mortgage used to be. And I find that quite frightening. Not from my perspective today, because I'm in a fortunate position at the age of 62, I don't have a mortgage. But I look at young people in my group who are working this plan, and I think, my goodness, you live in the same area as me, so you've got pretty much an idea on housing expenses and bills, etc. You live in the same sort of area as me. I know what the council tax, and the different bills and things in our area, what we have to pay for over and above our council taxes, you know, things that aren't included in your council tax list. And I think, and you're young, so I would imagine you've got a mortgage. And house prices are astronomical compared to when I bought my bungalow, like 32 years ago. How on earth do people do this plan? I'm not worried about how they pay the bills, they've got the jobs, they're sorted, they can do that. We do our weekly shop, and we are extravagant in that we like good food. I would say our average weekly food shop is about 150 quid, Joe?
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Yeah, we could cut it down, but we don't need to, and we're not party animals. We don't go to the pub every night. We don't spend a lot of money on eating out. I used to spend that much a week on eating out, if I'm honest. Shameful. We don't have those sort of expenditures. But it did bring it home to me this week that there are easier times, I think, I mean age-wise, there are easier times in life to work this plan. And I feel privileged today, and this is why I'm really, the point I'm trying to make, I feel privileged today in that being 62 and not having a lot of the financial responsibilities that I had at 32, 42 or even 52, I feel I have the freedom to give this plan its best. I don't have the restrictions that I used to have. And I do not think it is the easiest plan to work on a tight budget. Having said that, I watch Laura and Kath, and they do that. You know, and there may be a lot of people who watch my videos who have much tighter budgets than Laura and Kath. So I know people can do it, but I still think for me, in my 60s, and probably why I've been successful, like I was 59 I think when I got to Target, wasn't I? Why I've cracked it and got to Target is because I'm at a stage in my life where my life is much more relaxed. I don't have the financial constraints, I don't have a lot of the stresses that I had before, and I have the freedom to, most of the time, only have food in the house that is what I can eat. So I think when you're growing, you know, your kids are growing up and stuff like that, you've got a load of temptation. And I know for myself this week, and I'm going to be really honest with you, Thursday, I say it was a hospital day, not for me, for Joe. A bloody long day. We went out the house at 1:10 by taxi. We got back on foot at 5 to 8. Yeah, we could have got back earlier. We had a couple of jobs to do on the way home. By then, I was absolutely shattered. I had no energy, I had no enthusiasm, and I decided in the evening, because I'd only had, I think, 1.5 sins at that point, and I'm not going to go under 5, because I don't believe in that. So I decided to have a tub of Magnum ice cream. Now I've shared before on here, I'm not an ice cream person, and I'm not, I mean there could be any kind of ice cream in our freezer and I wouldn't touch it, because it's not one of my triggers and it's not one of my what do you say, kryptonites or whatever. Ice cream just doesn't do it for me generally, so I can be surrounded by it. I could work in an ice cream parlour and not eat the stuff, but Magnums do it for me, and it's the chocolate. I love the chocolate on a Magnum. I wish they'd make a chocolate bar, but then if they did, I'd probably soon be on the way back up again, wouldn't I? Joe was going out again in the evening, and I said, when you come back, will you bring me in Magnum? And they make now, and this was quite a nice surprise actually, they make a tub. And Joe bought me the tub, because it was, well, I don't know, it was better than having 4 bars, it was probably more controlled. Yeah, it was definitely more controlled, because I couldn't have had 1 bar. What do you call it, lollipop. Magnum ice cream in a tub. I don't know how many calories it is, I don't know how many sins it is. I had one hell of a day, and I just said to myself, it ain't going to make me fat to have 1 tub of ice cream. So I had 1 tub, and it is the most divine thing I've ever eaten in my life. So it's probably not the best idea, and I won't be repeating it too often, but it's there, I can have it for a special treat. So that was way over sins on Thursday. Most days I've been averaging around 11 to 13 sins this week, with my usual things, my coconut milk, my sushi, whatever, my olives and bits of, like Rebecca says, lean towards savvy sins. That's always good advice, comes from Rebecca. She practices it, and she actually, I say preaches it, but I don't mean that in a negative way. So all in all week I've been on plan, comfortably, but I've not been excited or enthusiastic about food. I feel like I'm going through the motions eating the foods I like, and in a lot of ways that keeps me on plan. If, when I'm feeling quite poorly like I have all week, I could easily take to crusty bread and Heinz tomato soup, I'm better just sticking to plan. And because I only eat the foods I really love, I find it easier to stick to. So, first I'm going to tell you my results, then I'm going to show you a couple of food items, then I'm going to show you a couple of photographs, then I'm going to buzz off because I
was going to say, we're heading towards 20 minutes already. Yeah,
okay. Right. Results at group this morning. Went into the group without a clue how I'd done, without an even care how I'd done, stepped on the scales and lost 2 pounds. Not putting it down to the walk-in because I walk every week. I'm just putting it down to this is the way the body goes when you're at Target. Sometimes you'll go and get a £2 gain when you weren't expecting it. Sometimes you go and get a £2 loss when you weren't expecting it. Sometimes you just go up and down, half a pound. I'll take it. I'm grateful for it. I'm now at the bottom of my target, so I'm 8 stone 11 or 123 pounds, which is, if I'm honest, what I would call my fighting weight. When I'm this way, I feel slim. I feel, what's the word? Lean. I like that word. And so, like, wearing a small top and a pair of size 10 jeans, that feels lean. And I'm really, really grateful to Slimming World for that, because they've taught me so much about portion control, about healthy eating, and about my relationship with food. It's been a long journey, and I'm not at the end of it, but I'm well on the way to where I want to be, and a forever place, hopefully. But I am not in recovery from any form of eating disorder. I am not moving away from the person I used to be, because all the old habits are still there. And yet, I feel like a new woman. Nothing ever changes 100% when you work this plan, but things get stronger and other things become weaker. So it's a journey. I'm on it. I'm staying on it. Right, I want to show you some jam that we found this week in HomeSense, and I didn't realise HomeSense is the home part of TK Maxx. So you're going to put them on camera together, Joe?
Yeah.
Now these jams are made with stevia, which is the sweetener that Joe favours. And can you tell us, Joe, the calories in them?
So the strawberry one's 22 per 100 grams.
And how many 100 grams in the jar?
330.
So for that whole jar?
So it's like 70 calories for the whole jar of the strawberry one.
70 calories for a jar of jam.
And
a whole jar.
The apricot
3.5 cents for a whole jar of jam.
And the apricot one's 32. So what's that? About
Just
100?
about 110 calories. So say 5 to 5.5 cents for the whole jar. Now
And they're called,
we haven't.
it's the
Sorry?
Good.
The company that made it
Good.
is called Good. Now I know that Grapetree online sells some Good stuff. I don't know. I'm not promoting Grapetree. I'm just saying that because I've used them in the past. They do Good maple syrup. I don't know that they do the jams, but you find them online if you're interested. We haven't had a chance to try them yet, but yeah, at 3.5 cents for a jar of strawberry jam and 5 to 5.5 for a jar of apricot jam, you can't really go wrong, can you? If it's nice. I'll try it and let you know. Oh, and they were how much? $2.99 each?
Yeah, $2.99.
$2.99 each from Home Sense or TK Maxx. And finally, we got those photos.
Yeah.
Here, have a laugh on me. I was out with Joe and his dad yesterday for coffee, and I'd said to Richard a while ago, excuse me, I'm losing my jeans. I said to Richard a while ago, have you got any photographs of me when I was fat? And he said, I got some of you when you were big, but I haven't got any of you when you were at your biggest, because for 10 years you never had a picture taken. And I thought, yeah, he's right. I think from about 2002 to 2012, maybe, there are no photographs of me at all. Nobody's got any. My mum hasn't got any. Nobody's got any. Because even if I went to weddings and things where you would usually have group pictures, I didn't go in the picture. I just didn't want to.
Oh, we're at 22 minutes.
Right, okay. First picture. Which one show first?
I'll go from best to worst.
Oh, go on then.
So this is probably the lightest of these pictures.
Yeah, but what
with the perm and the
where
elephant
am I?
at the zoo.
That was before you were born. So that was probably about 1992. Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I wasn't born.
Is that the one with the elephant?
Yeah.
So yeah, Dad said spot the elephant. I don't know what weight I would have been there. Probably about 14, 15 stone.
Right. And then the next one is
With the perm, I like that. These are with the bad hairdos.
the haircut's also got worse as well.
Go on.
So that's the one of me, you and Dad.
Sitting on a sofa.
No, sitting in a field.
Oh, right. And what age? Oh, no, we weren't. We were at Monkfryston Hall.
Oh,
I
right.
remember that. I think that was Granny and Grandpa's golden wedding. Probably something like that. So would you have been about 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's about 1996. I don't know what weight I was there. I was on the up. Let's put it that way. I was going up at that stage. Yeah, that's about 96.
Right.
Probably about 17 stone-ish.
And then the worst haircut of them all.
The worst haircut of them all. Go on then. And where's that one taken?
On our sofa.
On our sofa?
Well, I don't know whose sofa actually. It's a green one. Green leather
that was
sofa.
ours. Green leather?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was ours. And how old are you there?
I don't know. 3, 4.
So about 1968. So have I gone up in weight again?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me on my way to 22 stone. I wish I had a picture of me at my biggest.
Your face kind of looks like that person from the Scarborough adverts.
The Scarborough advert?
Is it Scarborough?
Don't know what you mean.
The seaside adverts where it's like jolly
wait,
guy with the rosy face.
The woman on the postcard?
No, the man. He's like a man.
Oh, thanks.
He's a man with like a rosy
With a
face
round,
on the.
rosy face.
Yeah, he's got very like rosy red cheeks and a jolly face, and
I'm not sure how to take that really. But
I don't know, just from memory. 1 minute, let me get it up on my phone.
It's probably my haircut.
Keep talking.
We were laughing yesterday about this, and we were laughing about things that have happened over the years. And I was recalling something to Joe about when Richard's niece had her 13th birthday, which was 13, and her mum had made this big cake that looked like a big LP record, and it was all iced in chocolate and fondant. It was gorgeous. And we were sitting out in their garden. They live in York, and we were sitting out in their garden, and she went inside to cut the cake after Helen had blown the candles out. And she brought everybody a piece of cake out on a plate, you know, with a napkin. And she passed me mine.
Yeah, I found him. It's Skegness.
All right, hang on a sec, let me just finish my story. She passed me my plate, and on my plate was a napkin and 2 dry Rivitas. And that spoke volumes. My sister-in-law is lovely. She's a really nice woman. but I think she was reminding me that chocolate cake wasn't a good thing when you were as fat as I was. I can laugh about it now. At the time, I wanted to just die. But yeah, people have very subtle ways of telling us things, and sometimes I think it's probably better to just say to your sister-in-law, darling, you're fat, lose some weight. But I still didn't lose weight, I still was on the up and up. So are you going to show this Skegness man?
Yeah, just give me a second. I'm trying to find a good...
I'm offended that I remind you of a man. I think, is it just the look, the jolly round rosy face? Or?
Yeah, it's the like the glossy rosy face he's got. Skegness is so bracing, it says. It's the man on the beach, like this. You can look at his face, he kind of looks like...
There you go, I had a jolly rosy round shiny face. And on that note, I'm going before he gets more
let me get them up
offensive.
both at the same time and compare them.
Go on, if you can get it in.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be horrible.
You're not being horrible, you're just being your usual lovely self.
And then... Right, yeah, sorry.
I have to go because as soon as this camera turns off, I'm going over there to thump him. But only gently.
It was a successful advert campaign.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's very well known.
Perhaps they should offer me a job, Joe. Oh no, I haven't got a fat enough
They should have.
now. We've had a good morning. I'm going to go and get some lunch. Thanks for watching. Sorry it was a bit of a ramble, but not a bad week. £2 off. Bottom of target. Need a gain next week. Can't afford to drop out the bottom or it's going to cost me a £5. We'll see you next Saturday. Have a good one. And Laurie's stuff will be in the post on Monday. Cheers, everybody. Remember, works if you work it, won't if you don't. Bye.